Welcome to the Force Book Podcast. I am your host, Haley Skywalker 2. Joining me today is Lizzie Cartedad, aka Kwe Chan,
Lahiting, hello.
as well as Dominic, also known as Star Killer 10-0,
Hey, how's everybody doing?
and Patrice Angel, also known as Silmarion.
Hello.
Okay, brilliant. Now that everybody is here, also, let me just go ahead and say Happy May the 4th. It is Star Wars Day in case you have been living under a rock and don't know what day it is. Also, well, let's be honest. Australians have already celebrated Star Wars Day, so they're on May the 5th, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Revenge of the 5th? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's it.
Yes.
So happy Revenge of the 5th to Australians and whoever else may be on the 5th. But for now, it is the 4th. In this episode of the Force Book Podcast, we'll be celebrating Star Wars Day, and we'll be talking about some of the latest news, which we're not going to mention. And make sure you hang around until the very end. I have a very special announcement to make. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to start off with asking Pat a few questions now that she is new to the podcast. This is only our second episode in case nobody recognized. So, Pat, how did you discover the Force book?
Well, Steve, who is not here today, gave me, but tried a lot, gave me the link to the Force book, and so I'm really, I want to say thank you so much to him because the Force book is really a great place, and without him, maybe I would have never found it. So thank you, Steve, and this is how I discovered the Force book.
um, you're from a different country, right?
Yeah, I am French, but I've been living in Italy for 15 years, so I'm European, like say.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've mentioned in the last podcast, we do have members from all over the world, as you can tell. Even Lizzie is currently in. Where are you at, Lizzie?
I'm back in the UK. I flew back from the States on Thursday, so if I fall asleep halfway through this podcast, you'll know why.
And then the other two people are Americans. Well, Lizzie's American, kind of.
Half American.
Half American. Okay. So since we're talking about the Force book, Pat, what are some aspects that you like about the Force book?
But actually, one of the aspects I like a lot is that it is a way to meet people from really all over the world, and also to share ideas, experiences about Star Wars, but also about daily life. Like I remember the chat we had for New Year's Eve. We were talking about the traditions we have in our countries, and I think it's really interesting. And at the same time, we have a lot of differences, but the Star Wars is just a very solid common ground. Like I like to say that Star Wars is very like the force that binds the universe together in a way. It really creates this common ground very strong.
That
And
is
so,
very
yeah,
true.
that is something I like, and I like very much also how the force has become. It's possible to share videos, photos, make articles. It has grown so much and is becoming always better. So, well, the thing I really prefer in all the Force book, of course, is the members because they are all great. And there is, even last time I think Lizzie or Dom say that it's a very friendly atmosphere, a lot of acceptance, a lot of respect to the other's opinion and everything, even if we don't always agree or see things in the same way. It's good to see that there can be a dialogue, very very friendly always, and that is great.
Well, we're glad to have you on the site, and it's great to hear some great things about the Force book. Um, Another question is, how did you become a Star Wars fan?
Oh, it was back when I was, I think, around 10 years old, and I saw the Wu HS video of episode 4, 5, 6, and I really, really immediately liked it. And I had different stages. Like, I think the very first thing that struck me so much is the concept of the Force. And then, especially when Yoda is explaining the Force to Luke, I remember very much the feeling I had when he said that the Force was, between the tree and between the X-wing and between him and the Rock. And I was like, oh wow, the Force is also between me and the TV and the armchair. And exactly, and really, this spoke to me so much, and I started to become always more fan. And then, as a teenager, I became a big, huge fan of Mark Hamill, like someone else here. And so, yeah, so then all those stages, it evolves with age too, and surely it played a big part even in how I was raised with all the, indeed the concept of the Force and teachings of Yoda. Do not, there is no try, and all this. And then, well, I had I think a period where I kind of walked away a little bit because I became an adult and all. And when the prequels came out, I again gave all my heart to Star Wars, and I was really happy of this because it showed really that, in a way, I had never really walked away, but just maybe focused on other things. And actually, I liked the prequel very much too. So here it is. Now I hope I will like the future of Star Wars.
So you've been a fan for a really long time then.
Yeah. Yeah, almost all my life. Even if there are people who have fans for a longer time. I mean, starts really, really young. 10 is not that young, but well.
Oh, wow. That's well, once again, I would love to have seen the movies come out. That would be a dream. But hey, we get to see Star Wars Episode 7 come out. Um, so now we're going to talk about some of the latest news that's been out in the Star Wars universe. I believe today they announced the full trailer for Star Wars Rebels. Has anybody seen it?
I have not yet. I'm actually really excited about the series and stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see very much of the Clone Wars, so I didn't see the trailer for this one yet. I'm gonna have to go look it up now. But I'm excited to be able to kind of jump in at the beginning of a new series and hopefully be able to stay with it for a while. So.
I haven't seen it yet, although one of the first posts on my Facebook feed today was from a friend of mine, Mike Sidious, who, at least I think this is what he said, he had gone to see a Star Wars marathon, I think. Again, Mike, if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong. But he made a post that said that what took him completely by surprise was that there was a little thing before it that had a quick sort of message from Dave Filoni and a surprise trailer for Rebels. So I'm assuming that's the same thing that's what's been released.
I believe so. I haven't watched a trailer either. I was just seeing if anybody has watched it. Pat, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I read something about the new characters, and well, I think it can be interesting. It depends how it is made, but I personally I would have preferred something of the Old Republic. But it can be interesting. Some characters are really interesting. Yeah.
Yes. I actually did not know about the trailer until just before we aired this. So that's what I'm gonna be watching when we get off. Um, Maybe that's something we can talk about on the next episode is the Rebels trailer. But we can at least talk about some of the characters that we have seen been announced. I know the characters seem pretty interesting. Looks like we have a mix. We have a mix of the dark side and we have the light side of the Force, and I think we have like some smugglers involved. What do you guys think?
No Nemoidians.
Oh.
Don't
No,
for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, there is a character I'm not sure what to think about. Is the character of the Jedi cowboy, which is kind of maybe Han Solo transformed into a Jedi. So I'm not sure. This can be very good or very bad, I think, because I really like the mystical, concept and atmosphere of Star Wars, and it can be very interesting, but it can be also danger of cutting off the mystical part. But I want to see in order to see how they deal with it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept, even because indeed after Order 66, I think it's Jedi's had to disguise in a way, so it makes such a character make sense. But let's hope that he had not lost his spirit of Jedi doing it.
Well, sort of on the subject of cowboy-like Jedi, as you said, I mean, that brings to mind Quinlan Vos, who I've never read too many of the comics, which I assume are actually now not considered really canon, that had him in it, but I seem to remember that while he was a bit of a rogue, he had a bit more of a serious attitude in the comics, and actually I think he even married a woman who worked for the Separatists and had a son with her. But in the Clone Wars TV series, they actually portrayed him as a sort of a very aloof, very much roguish, almost goofy kind of character, and he's very much a fan favorite, at least as far as I've seen. So, yeah, you're definitely right that you're sort of treading on thin ice there with sort of going against the grain of what an established Jedi character, what the idea of an established Jedi character would be, being, as you said, the sort of the mystical, mysterious, reserved, wise kind of character, and replacing that with again, as you put it, a Jedi cowboy. But I mean, if it goes across as well as Quinlan Vos did, there's a very high chance of that character becoming another fan favorite. I mean, even the comparison you made to Han Solo, I mean, granted that's a completely different class of character, but if this character does sort of strike a Han Solo-like chord in a lot of people, then there's a very good chance that could turn into a fan favorite.
Yeah, sure.
I know Quinlan Vos, I think that's how you say his name. He was a very different character to have in the Clone Wars, and it was kind of nice to see that not all Jedi are the same, as in they abide by the rules. I mean, obviously of Anakin, who didn't abide by the rules, but nobody knew that. But we have this cowboy-like Jedi, and I think right now he's kind of my favorite character that's in the Rebels, but then again, he might have been completely changed in the trailer. So
Which character again was this? Is that Kanan? Is that his name?
I believe so. I would have to look it up. I don't know the Rebels characters' names.
Kanan and Sabine are the only names that come to mind at the moment. I cannot for the life. No, there's Hera Syndulla. And okay, so I remember most of them. My brain's not working very well at the moment.
See if I can find. We have
It's Kanan, Harrison Dilla, Chopper, Sabine Wren, and two others.
it's Canon, Ezra,
Ezra, that's it.
Zeb, Sabine, Hera, Chopper, Imperial Inquisitor, there's a guy. The Dark Side dude. He's got a weird name. Spelled P-A-U apostrophe A-N.
A Powan? That's not his name.
That's not his name. Or is that his species?
Yeah, Powans. They're the tall grey striped people that you see in episode 3 on.
Oh, I did not know that. I learned something today.
Oh.
So yeah, I think it's Canon is the kind of the cowboy one that we've been talking about.
The Jedi?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanan's the Jedi. Ezra was the non-Jedi. I don't know what to call him.
A thief, an artist, pickpocket. I'll just read the cast and thingy. Okay.
We're not paid on a very nice light here, are we?
No.
Thief, pickpocket.
Living on the outer rim world of Lothal as the Empire strike mines resources of his home world for some things for TIE Fighters production. He is starting to learn how to use the Force through Kanan's tutelage. I like that word, tutelage. Stealing to survive. He has no real loyalty to anyone.
Oh, so he is a thief.
Yeah. And then there's Blum, or no, that's the guy who voices him, never mind. Zeb is his name, an alien sidekick known for his physical strength, based on Ralph McQuarrie's original conceptual artwork for Chewbacca.
I knew that looked familiar.
He's a...
I know, right?
I'm looking at a picture of him right now, and I had seen it before, and I was looking at it, and I couldn't, until you just said that, I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, wait, I either thought I had seen that character before or something. I'm like, well, that can't be, but that's what it is. It was the concept for Chewbacca that a lot of similarities in that. That's what it was.
And then we have Sabine. I guess Sabine. It's a female Mandalorian with expert knowledge of weapons and explosives. Okay, I guess every Mandalorian fan just kind of stood up a little bit. Then we have Hera, which is the Twi'lek, who pilots the ship Ghost. And we have Chopper, the astromech droid. And obviously we have the antagonist, the dark side user, tasked by Darth Vader to hunt down the remaining Jedi left in the galaxy, the Imperial Inquisitor. So yeah, it looks like it's a pretty good list, people.
And a whole rabble of stormtroopers by the looks of it.
Different. Everything's very different. Definitely feels like something we would read in a book. Like the book, I'm going to mention this. The book Honor Among Thieves kind of comes in mind when thinking about these characters. We have an antagonist. We have a wide variety of different characters with different personalities. We have thieves, and I don't want to give too much away because I'm sure many of you have not read the book. It's a Star Wars book. But that I don't know why that book just kind of comes to mind when reading off these characters. So yeah, this is a pretty good show. Comes out later this year on Disney XD. Fall of 2014. Okay. You can tell I've been keeping up with all this. Number of seasons 1. I'll link the Wikipedia page at the bottom where I'm reading off all this stuff. Even Dave Filoni will be I guess he's directing it again. Yeah. Have been announced. Oh, executive producers. Sorry. Dave Filoni, Simon Kinberg, and Greg Weisman. I think that's how you say it. Animated. It takes place between episode 3 and episode 4. So, pretty straightforward show. I think it'll be pretty neat to see what's happening in the galaxy during that time, because it is a long stretch of time. It is 19 years between episode 3 and episode 4. So it's I mean, we kind of have an idea what's happening in the galaxy at the time, but it's nice to have a TV show to explain it. So
It is a long stretch of time between there, and there's obviously a lot going on between, you know, when episode 3 ends and, you know, and when you think about it, and then the beginning of episode 4. So that's a nice broad timeline to really be able to put there's a lot of storyline in there that's available, I think, and with a lot of different characters and a lot of things. That's a really good canvas to be able to start with for that, I think. So, and with all those characters being you know, kind of unique, I guess, to the Star Wars universe, I think that's really cool too. Kind of like the female Mandalorian role, and the Twi'lek, and that, I think that's really, you know, cool, and that they're kind of putting, you know, new characters and things like that in there that, you know, you maybe don't normally see in the movies or any of the you know, some of the other books and stuff.
very good
it's
point.
a period of great changes in the galaxy, and so yeah, lots of stories can be told.
Okay. Rebels will be coming out in fall, so make sure you check that out. Anybody else have anything to say about the Rebels topic before we switch on?
Well, sort of going on off on the topic about how it covers that much time. If this show is successful enough to go into the same number, if not, you know, a greater number of seasons than Clone Wars had or was supposed to have, then I would hope almost that each season would cover maybe 1 to 2 years in itself. That would be a very actually easy way to cover that entire time period and provide for a lot of character development. I mean, there's a fair amount sort of in the balance with Rebels, especially after the success and how loved the Clone Wars was. I mean, yes, there are still, you know, large number of fans who despise anything that ever happened after, you know, 1983, but for many fans, I mean, you know, including I would hope a lot of the fans on the Force book, the Clone Wars was absolutely, well, for me personally, it was mind-blowingly good. Mm-hmm. So, and I know that's not just because there were Neimoidians, including Lot Dodd, in it, but they did help. But I think a lot of people, especially the Clone Wars fans, are going to be judging Rebels very, very heavily, especially with respect to the Clone Wars, despite the fact that, you know, it's now a different part of the Star Wars universe. It's now a different time in you know, the Star Wars fan base with regards to all that's happened in the last year and a half following the Disney takeover. I want to see this show succeed. It's difficult for me personally to sort of form an opinion about it as it is, partially because I'm still sort of crying about Clone Wars. and partially because I mean, I don't know, I don't think there's really actually enough out at the moment to really be able to form a solid opinion about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, I think people are just going. I think a lot of people are going to be judging this very heavily with respect to Clone Wars, in the same way that I think people are going to be judging the new film very, very heavily with respect to the original trilogy. So.
I think this show is going to have a large um, a large audience when it first releases because, like you said, we're all still kind of down about the fact that Clone Wars has ended, and we kind of want more. And the fact that Star Wars Episode 7 is coming out next year, we're probably going to be very picky because, well, we're Star Wars fans and we don't want Episode 7 to be screwed up. So this is kind of our sneak preview of what to expect from Disney.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of, we don't want them to kind of screw that up either.
I think you have a very, as far as making the new films goes, I mean, it's the people involved in this are, have been doing this for a while and they know what they're doing and they know what to take into account. And I think that this, either, I guess just not maybe the whole set, but this movie in particular, when it's released or being made, I hope obviously that that it's done really well. But I think that they have maybe some information this time that they didn't before, where you know how big the original Star Wars series is, you know what it is, and the fan base surrounding it. You have the prequels that were done later on, that was the first of anything new, as far as the Star Wars film goes, and now you've got another set of movies where these, the people involved with, Disney and J.J. Abrams and everybody, producing it and everything, have like films and things to look back on that they didn't necessarily when they made the prequels, because now you have 3 movies that are heavily fan favored, 3 more movies that maybe aren't as much, that weren't so welcomed by everybody, and now you kind of have a chance to do it again, knowing what worked and maybe what didn't. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they take that into account with a new set of films, as having the prequels now as a kind of as something to look back on.
Kind of off topic a little bit. Wait, I think Pat, were you gonna say something?
No, I was going to say, yeah, sure. I think actually there is a lot of pressure on them on doing this new trilogy because it's also the first time that it's not actually directly George Lucas who is doing it. So, true, so that they have a lot of information on how when the prequels, and also they are doing, I think, a lot of how do you say, they send questions to fans and they try to understand what we want, what we don't want, and I feel that they have this pressure, and I hope they will make it good work.
There are still going to be, probably hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of do I want to call them fans, who are still going to absolutely bash George Lucas if this goes wrong. They're going to go after him no matter what.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Poor chap.
Yeah. Another thing that's kind of like a little off topic. Well, it's not off topic. It's about the movie in 2015. 2015 is going to be a really tough year for Disney. They're having the Avengers 2, and they'll probably have a bunch of even more Marvel movies or just animated movies coming out in 2015. So 2015 is definitely going to be one of those tough years for Disney, and I hope they do not just put Star Wars on the back burner so they can finish the Avengers or whatever else they have to finish, but I don't think they will.
At the same time, though, we don't want them milking Star Wars as, you know, a bloody cash cow or anything. That's one thing that does have me worried. The fact that they're announcing a new film every year from 2015 onwards. Do we really need that? I mean, I would much rather have one absolutely magnificent film every 10 years than one revolting film every single year for 10 years.
I don't think they have the time for a movie every single year.
I swear I heard that from somewhere. You know what? I say all the time, if it's not come from Disney or StarWars.com, it's not canon. So you know that may very well have been a rumor. But even if it isn't, I still stand by that. I would much rather see one brilliant film every 10 years than one crappy film per year for 10 years.
Yeah, I think I urged that to maybe for spin-off films or something like this. Maybe not each year, but very, very often. And yes, I agree too. I prefer one good, great movie every 10 years than a lot of movies they made in you know, in a hurry and that are not good. So
Absolutely. And also, I mean, if these spin-offs go badly, I mean, I again, this is probably just, again, some silly rumor. I had heard that, or rather I read something that they had run into some problems regarding the Boba Fett spin-off, if, again, that was even a confirmed film. Again, that was probably just a rumor, but if it isn't, as I said, if the spin-offs go awry, I would sincerely hope that they would learn their lesson and not do anything else with that and not try it again. Because let's look at this honestly. I know Disney has actually had very little to do with Star Wars by this point and with Marvel. I'm not going to get into why hearing people make the argument that because Disney is apparently doing a good job with Marvel, that they should do a good job with Star Wars, because that's a completely invalid argument in my opinion, at least because these two franchises have nothing in common with each other other than the same parent company, just had very little to do with them. But let's be honest and look at some of the sequels, the not just the direct to DVD or video things, but even some films, some franchises that they've actually put out in the cinema, and let's see how badly they failed. And it just seems to me that they don't seem to get the picture at that point. They're just pushing out film after film, mediocre to absolutely poor film after mediocre to poor film, and you know, just to make a quick dollar, and that they're not getting it. And you know, I would sincerely hope they don't do anything like that with Star Wars, because Star Wars has an image, it has a history, it's something that means, you know, a great deal to a very, very large number of people, and I would hope they would respect not only the source material but the fan base by not turning Star Wars into a cash cow out of which they can just push one poor film after another, just again so they have something to show for it.
yeah, I think that is the a lot of people are worried about it, I think, because Disney often make arts in order to have money, and well, if the art is made well and it's a success, good, but I think art should be what is important at the end, and I think it's actually a great risk for them, because there is this long tradition and history of Star Wars, so they can lose a lot if they handle the things badly or in a way just to make a lot of money, and I hope, I think they are intelligent enough to think of it, but I hope. We can only hope.
Absolutely.
Give me 1 minute. My dog is barking in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear him. Good Lord, is somebody torturing that dog?
No, somebody arrived and I'm hoping somebody's going to get the door. I don't know if I'm home alone or... Bloopers. Maybe he'll shut up. Nope, nope, nope. Alright, he's quieting down, I think.
Don't jinx it.
Okay, he's quiet now. Now that we've had that interruption on my side. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, he's done. So we talked about the movies. We talked about Rebels. Okay, well, let's talk about the cast. That's the biggest news that just happened a few days ago. The announcement of the cast for episode 7. I know I was excited when I saw Mark Hamill's name on that list. I gotta tell my story on the cast. I was in math class taking a test, and my phone had went off saying that some breaking news. So I checked it, and it said new cast announcement, and I got up and I said, you know, I'm done with this test. I'm not going to pass it. So I turned it in because I do not do good on math, and so I just sat there with my phone out and I was waiting for the page to load. It took about 10 minutes for the page to load on my phone. And then I read the list and I saw Mark Hamill, and literally I jumped up and down and I was just saying yes, yes, yes. And I was saying yes, yes, yes as quietly as possible, but I was jumping up and down like a maniac, and everybody was like asking questions. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, we're in the middle of a test. I'll sit down. And so, yeah. So what do you guys think about the cast?
What's it like to actually, you know, have Star Wars characters, have your favorite Star Wars character and favorite actor, you know, appear in the new film and get new figures every year and, you know, just generally be appreciated and loved? What's that like? Is it nice? Because I don't know what that's like.
Breaking news. Lot died in new Star Wars Episode 7 film. They're bringing him back from the dead.
Lot didn't die. He's not dead. Do not say he's dead.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he's killed by Anakin, but...
Nope. Excuse me, are you arguing with me about Nemoidians?
Pretty sure. Dom, do you want to stick up with this, or are you just going to let me stay here and get killed by Lizzie?
There's a very good chance that in, you know, Anakin's blind rage that he may have missed a lightsaber strike here or there, and maybe possibly...
Mustafa.
I mean, you know... Oh, no, was he not there? That's how much I know about my Nemoidians.
No, let me tell you who's on Mustafa. Newt Gunray, Lucius Gunay, Rune Hako, Gaff Knox, Ito Laugh, a bunch of other unnamed Nemoidians. There was one Fame Dramal, and they all got killed. Lot Dod was not on Mustafa. He lived. He's alive as far as I'm concerned. And you can't take me.
Where was he exactly during all that?
I don't know. They stopped talking about him after Clone Wars. So I'm just going to assume he's on holiday permanently.
Oh, he could be in Dagobah for all we know, in a hut somewhere. We don't know then. Oh,
Gosh, poor Senator.
Breaking news. Lot Dodd in Star Wars Rebels. Breaking news. He died. That was mean. Um.
Breaking news, Mark Hamill killed before filming of new Star Wars film.
No.
No.
Breaking news, Luke Skywalker removed from Star Wars canon completely.
No. No. Breaking
Breaking news,
news.
Luke Skywalker never existed.
Breaking news. One of those unnamed Nemoidians on Mustafar was actually Lot Dodd.
Nice try, they don't even look like him.
oh, they all look the same anyway. How can you
Oh,
tell?
no, they don't. I can tell the difference easily. I have trouble telling the difference between humans. Humans all look the same.
Lizzie Carte Dodd, everybody.
Jet laggy Karte dog.
So yeah, so in case you didn't know, people who's played Nemoidians in the past are not part of the list for the cast for Star Wars Episode 7. But I will read you off the people who are on this list. Names such as Adam Driver, John Boyega. I'm sorry if I murder your names. Oscar Isaac, Andy Serkis, Dome Gleason, and Max von Sydow. I hope I'm not missing anybody.
You're missing Daisy Ridley.
Who?
Daisy?
Daisy.
Daisy Ridley? I think that's her name. Ripley? Daisy? I think it's Ridley.
I shouldn't trust this. I'm trusting Google right now. I shouldn't trust Google.
She's like the only new female cast
Oh
member.
yeah, there she is. She's the last one on the list. Sorry, Daisy Ridley. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay, that's all the new people. We also have Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels, and Kenny Baker. And
Where's Billy D?
Huh?
I said, where's Billy D? Where's
maybe,
Orlando?
Maybe they're going to announce him, like, next week.
Oh, he's on Cloud City. Very busy.
No, he lost Cloud City. After the Imperial issue, he doesn't own Cloud City.
Oh, well, you know, he is very crafty. Maybe he could have won it back in a card game. We don't know.
I thought he got back to Cloud City in the EU and he married Kendra. What's her name? Kendra.
But then he lost
Kendra
Cloud
something.
City again, I guess.
He did.
In
Gosh,
Expanded
man
Universe.
gotta stop gambling.
He
I'm
lost
telling
it.
you.
Because he didn't have any money, and he bought another planet. I'm pretty sure. And
Must be nice.
That reminds me of that line in Clone Wars when Newt is trapped on board the on prison and Asajj Ventress is, you know, sort of breaking in. He's all, open this door, I'll buy you a planet.
maybe that's what it'll do for you one day.
Oh, we still like that.
I have to say, as far as the new cast is concerned, I don't know. Maybe I generally think I keep up with things pretty well, but I'm gonna have to IMDb like half of that cast because I didn't recognize anybody's name on there at all. As far as the new cast members go, because I know there were just tons and tons of rumors of people, and you can't go by any of that stuff because I mean they would have had, you know, I mean people on there that, you know, who knows,
Yeah.
but so I think that was a little bit of a surprise for some people and kind of cleared up a lot of the rumors with certain people. But I think it's awesome that they brought back Peter Mayhew and Kenny Baker and even Anthony Daniels back into it because I mean honestly, you could have CG'd half of that stuff, or had anybody in a suit, or in a droid or whatever. And I think that's fantastic. They
Yeah.
went as far as to bring them back too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
because
sort of to answer your question about not knowing any of the names, Andy Serkis, he was Gollum in
Yeah.
Oh, right.
in
Lord of
Lord
the
of the
Rings,
Rings.
yeah.
He did motion capture. Now a lot of people are actually thinking that because again he's done a lot of motion capture work, he's going to end up motion capturing a non-human or a droid or something for the film, which would actually be fantastic to see. But I'm sort of going off again on what you said about these, you not knowing, like half of the new actors, or all of the new actors. I think that's actually really good. What Star Wars has done, they have kept their pattern of taking relatively small actors, maybe with the exception of Andy Serkis, but again, even you didn't know his name from Gollum, even though he's done some, fairly big roles. They've taken these sort of small name actors, and my guess is that whether this film goes well or not, because they've been in Star Wars, they're going to be huge.
Well,
They've
yeah,
not
Yeah.
not gone with they've not gone with these current big actors. No one like Benedict Cumberbatch or anybody like that. And frankly, I've never actually understood the hype about him. But
Haley
no,
clearly does.
sorry, Haley. But yeah, they've taken small name actors, and chances are, at the end of everything, they're going to be huge name actors. So well done, Star Wars, for keeping that tradition.
Yeah, that is true. And I think it's great to see also actors of the Star Wars traditions like Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford with really new actors. And this is really two generations of actors that can meet and work together. It's great. As for the cast, I think out of Andy Serkis, I didn't know anybody of the new actors, so I don't know. But I was also so happy to see Mark Hamill on that list. I was kind of sure that it was in because when I was at Celebration Europe 2, he was kind of so enthusiastic talking of Star Wars, so I really thought, well, I cannot say, okay, I'm in, but it was sure, according to me, it would be sure that it was actually in. So to have the confirmation was so great. And well, I'm still a bit worried about what they will do with it, but even especially after the news about the expanded universe. But seeing Mark Hamill on the list really made me very happy.
I'm just gonna put this out there for Dom. You watch Harry Potter? Yes, you do watch Harry Potter. Never mind, you have wands. But
Oh, yes.
Dom,
Okay.
Domhnall Gleeson. He was Bill Weasley in Harry Potter.
Yes, now that you say that too, I remember reading that too, and it's just the name didn't click, but I do remember seeing that on there now. So, yep, that's right. I remember that now. So, but aside from that, even who I don't remember other than anything from the Harry Potter films, I think it's great too that they go with newer people and things like that. And not that the other actors and stuff aren't great too, or big name people, but I think so many people, and I know it's a problem for a lot of actors and stuff too, get recognized as a certain character or a certain roles or things. So I think it's really neat that they to go through and I'm sure there are plenty of undiscovered actors and things that could do a fantastic job that just not everybody gets that chance. So I think it's great that they also that they didn't just go with like a cast full of big name, well-known celebrities and stuff to play everybody. I think it's great that that there'll be some people you're not used to seeing and some newer faces taking up those roles.
Also, no Disney actors.
Yeah, well, either way, right, yeah.
I didn't realize that. Nice.
There's hope for this yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think at this point, though, honestly, even for Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and people like that who have no need for any extra money or a paycheck at this point, I think they all have, I think everybody is excited about this. I think the producers, directors, J.J. Abrams is getting this unbelievable chance put out in front of him. I think that everybody involved is probably just as excited to be a part of something like this too. And I think, I think if everybody brings that passion to it, to what they're doing and everything, that I think, we're in for something pretty good. So.
Yeah, I think taking part of this movie is anyway like an adventure, and I think everyone is excited because for actors of the old trilogy, it's like maybe I don't know, return to the origin or return to the family, and for the new actors, I think it's just working with people who are legends, so a lot to learn, I think, from them and maybe even from the new actors for the actors of the original trilogy.
It's it's a great to see them like you all have already mentioned the fact that they're getting these actors that are not well known. Um, but I have a feeling that the role that they play will be they'll be well known for that role. I hope these actors are not so well known for their role that like for example like Mark Hamill, he had the hardest time trying to get a another to be part of another movie, to be known for that movie instead of being known for just Luke Skywalker. I mean, if you think about it, Mark Hamill is only known as Luke Skywalker, and some people, if they know, they'll know that he voiced the Joker in the animated series and in the games.
He does a
But
lot of voice acting work. And once you can actually pinpoint his voice, it's very easy to hear him in a lot of things. Like, have you heard of it was on Cartoon Network about 10 years ago. It's a show called Time Squad. Do you remember that?
no.
Oh gosh, I feel old now. Okay, well, he voiced a robot in that, and it sounds almost exactly like the Joker in Batman. I think he does. So yeah, once you can actually pinpoint his voice, it's very easy to pick him out in a surprising number of different shows and games.
But that was just like I'm just talking about when he was younger, and he wasn't as big into voice acting until he kind of realized that's all he kind of has left to do is voice acting because nobody would take him in as an actor,
Right.
because he was too well known as Luke Skywalker. I don't know, just random thought there. Um, but these actors, I had a feeling that when Peter Mayhew had that surgery a few months ago on his legs, or his knees, I mean, I had a feeling that had something to do with something. Um, and he was kind of hinting about it on his Facebook page that he was getting into a big role. But I think it's I don't know which one of y'all said this that they could have picked anybody to fit in R2D2, or they could find a really skinny person to be C3PO. But okay, I think they chose Anthony Daniels just because of the fact that there's nobody else like Anthony Daniels. Like he will probably yell at you if you say his name wrong. Um, so I think Anthony Daniels is always a good role to play C3PO because Anthony Daniels and C3PO get along pretty well. Um, and Peter Mayhew. I mean, you could find okay. Tall people are not easily found unless they're in a large crowd. Um, but thank you for laughing. Um, um,
You're welcome. I'm sorry, that was so bad I had to laugh.
It was.
Sorry, come on.
But Peter Mayhew, always perfect role for Chewbacca. So yeah, they could have picked anybody, but they picked the same people. And they picked people who are not well known in the universe. It's a pretty good cast. I look forward to seeing their roles. Um, Glad to see a ginger, even if he is a male. Yeah. Um, does anybody have anything else to say about Star Wars Episode 7 before we move on to something else?
Well, I have something I'm kind of perplexed about because J.J. Abrams seems to be willing really to kind of return to the original visual of the original trilogy. So less special effects and more puppets and all less digital, let's say. And I think it's kind of a paradox because when episode 4 went out, it was really, I think, kind of a revolution at the level of special effects and technology. And personally, I would expect for episode 7 to be a kind of new avatar, like, something that I really find, I don't know, something never seen before at technological level, a special 3D or something like this. But of course, not neglecting the story and characters. But I find it a little weird that they want to turn back to a less technological thing. Like they want to turn back to the original trilogy, but not as the original trilogy came out in a way, because it came out like a super modern thing, and now it will come out like a return to the origin. I don't know if I'm clear, but well, I'm a little perplexed about this choice, maybe.
No, that's actually a really excellent point you make, and it's one that a lot of people tend to forget. Like what you said with the way they did the special effects in the original trilogy. Now it seems like it's really sort of low tech and back to basics for us now. But in 1975, 1976, when they were filming this, that was absolutely state of the art what they were doing in terms of the models, the computer effects that were later added in. That was what Avatar was in 2010, 2009 for us. That was their Avatar in terms of how revolutionary things were. Now again, it's like just like you said, it seems very, very retro to us now, but that was not the intended effect. It was supposed to be outstanding, and people, like I said, people forget that. People go on and on about how the prequels relied too much on green screen. Well, first of all, a large number of scenes in episode 3 used models, used built scenery. Yes, there was a fair amount of green screen, but that is state of the art. Well, that was state of the art for 2005. That was what was expected, and it still came out pretty damn amazing. I mean, that space battle is absolute eye candy. It is incredible, and it does not detract from the film in the least. It adds to it.
Yeah, completely.
So.
Yeah, because the special effects are not necessarily something that detracts a movie, or it depends how they're used. Because,
Did everything
for example,
just die?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, help.
Lizzie? Lizzie, you okay? Lizzie?
Something has clearly happened. Lizzie is having technical difficulties.
Okay. We're all having some technical
Hello?
difficulties. Okay, can you hear us? Lizzie?
She'll be back.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I've got no idea what happened just then.
Okay, so everything good now?
Yeah, there's about a 10-second lag, but
It'll catch up.
yeah, it's catching up already. I've got no idea what happened just then. My sound and everything just went. But anyway, to finish that up, the point I'm trying to make is it just goes exactly with what Patrice said. I just butchered your name again, sorry. With why go back to this retro time when you could make use of what is state of the art nowadays? Because again, just the example that she made with Avatar, that was the best. That was revolutionary in 2009, 2010. So we're going to be 4 or 5 years later. What's that even going to look like now? And why wouldn't they take advantage of that?
I think you're going to be surprised, and I think you'll see both. I think I think you're going to probably see something a little new, but I think also the reason, as far as going back, I don't think the entire thing's going to go back to to the vintage style stuff. But I honestly, I've always been a person with movies and films, and the technology is amazing and wonderful. And I mean, if it wasn't for it, we couldn't have half of the movies that we even have now that are as amazing as they are. But I still think at the same time, there's just something about a realism too. There's just something with a real physical set that you don't always get with that backdrop green screen type of thing. And
Oh, absolutely.
There's just something you don't get. It's an art form, the puppetry and the costumes and the makeup and those types of things, as opposed to just maybe doing a dot matrix on somebody's face. I think that there is something you just get with having a physical Peter Mayhew in that Chewbacca suit there, as opposed to him just in a green suit. I mean, somebody made a comment not that long ago. A friend of mine that does in the 501 that does was making a run of clone trooper armor, and had kind of mentioned that it's kind of sad that this is the only form that this exists in, that there wasn't ever an actual piece of clone trooper armor ever made, because all the clone troopers in the prequels were all CG. And I think there's something that you get out of having, even with the best technology, somebody, a group of people in actual suits,
absolutely,
as opposed to just the CG. So
actually, I think that as long as they can use real people and real scenery and sets, it's really essential to do it. But I think it would be good to do both, and not going into extreme in one direction or the other.
Exactly.
Because we're working on both fronts would be the best. Because for what they can do with human beings, there's no reason to do something else. The special effects should be merely for, I don't know, things that really cannot have physically present.
But if there's a massive space battle or something, then we better be getting at least Avatar level special effects by this point.
I would think so. I think you're going to see a really unique combination of both, where you're going to have a really good physical representation of stuff, and then you're going to have, I think, there'll be. I mean, when you talk about Avatar and stuff too, is I think about how when they remade Tron, when Disney did it a couple years ago, that was kind of revolutionary too, where they had turned Jeff Daniels into basically made him 20 years younger by using CG and stuff. Jeff Bridges, I'm sorry, not Jeff Daniels. But when they changed, that kind of a thing too, and the special effects and the lighting and the things that they did. I think you're going to see kind of the same thing, where you're going to see really a combination of both, and hopefully, I hope so. I hope that's the case at least.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I look forward to finding out if that will be the case. Um, we don't want too much special effects, but we also don't want too little. Um, so yeah. Um, I think we're all excited for the new movie. We're all excited for the new TV show. Or all excited, I guess. I don't know if we all might be.
Anxious, I think, is a better word.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
anxious.
true.
Yeah. Me too.
Anxious. Then there are books coming out, supposedly. I believe they're doing away. I don't think they're like doing away with the expanded universe, but they're not like going to produce any more books for the expanded universe. But I think they are releasing some more books. I think I saw that somewhere on my Facebook feed.
We're never going to see a new Nemoidian again, are we?
We might. I don't know.
We may, if they need to kill somebody off somewhere, maybe new Neomoidians, but other than that,
They did not
Bring him-
kill a single Nemoidian in Clone Wars. Just bear that in mind.
Oh, they might change that soon. They might find out that Lizzie found out that Lot Dot is still alive. So
Lizzie, I think at this point, I think if there's any new Neomoidians anywhere, I wouldn't be surprised if you were contacted about that to portray the next Neomoidian somewhere at this point.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a dream come true. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing. That would be just so amazing.
let us all know if that happens. If you can,
But
let us
believe
know.
you me, if by some miracle that happens, believe you me, I'm not going to be able to keep quiet about it. unless of course I have to keep quiet about it, in which case I will. I mean, I kept quiet about Zill for about 2 months or however long it took. No, was it 2 months? Was it? I don't know. I kept quiet about Zill until I was told otherwise, so I can do this.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for the Star Wars kind of part of this, unless anybody has any final remarks.
Don't kill Hot Dog.
Okay. Guess we don't have any remarks whatsoever. Just ignore Lizzie for now. Well, I think I can go ahead and finally go ahead and announce the big announcement that I've been hiding for a little while. Even though I've been hinting about it a little bit as well. So May the 4th, in case you didn't know, I haven't said anything about it this whole chat, but the Force book is 3 years old today. 3. That's
Oh
a
my
big
gosh.
number. Guys, that's 1, 2, 3.
That's half the Star Wars saga.
When it gets to I was about to say when it gets to 6, it'll be the complete Star Wars saga, but
We'll probably have about 10 episodes by that point.
yeah, that wouldn't work. So yeah, 3 years, half a Star Wars saga. Kind of a big deal. The site is still growing every single day, still changing every year. It feels like something new is being added on, which is really awesome. I love the design of the site now. Ever since it was switched over, it's beautiful. It's easier. It's easy to use. Um, there's more people involved with the site now. Um, it's growing. 3 years. Happy birthday to the fourth book. Thank you to Mr. Doyle for creating this amazing site for all of us to use. So, in honor of the 3 years, there will be a giveaway. This giveaway starts as soon as this podcast ends. Well, actually, it starts as soon as I create the event page on the site. Which I'm going to do. I'm going to create an event page, and it's going to have a picture of all the items that are being given away, and it'll be probably the information will be written out for you. This giveaway will end on May 25th, 1977. I couldn't do it. I'm smiling.
You killed it, Haley.
I can't. So, guys, find a TARDIS. Go back in time. If anybody does get a TARDIS and goes back to 1977, please pick up some vintage figures and tell us what it's like to see the movie, please.
And see
Anyway,
if anybody paid attention to the Duros.
I'll
The
see what
what?
I can do. I'm
The
still.
Duros, you know,
there were
Cantina
Doros in 1977?
in the
They're-
cantina.
They're in the cantina, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a married Duros couple, yes.
I learn something new every day from Lizzie. Dora.
Oh, glad to help.
Stay tuned to the next episode. We'll be talking about Duros and how I didn't know they were actually in the films. I thought they were just an expanded universe character.
There's also one in Return of the Jedi.
And now you know.
Yeah, and now I know. Next episode, guys. Next episode, we'll talk about Duros. I might want to take a note for that. Okay, back to the giveaway.
We're giving away
order-
Duros!
Oh
We're
my
giving
God.
away Duros and Nemoidians and Aunt Dodd. The scene
Oh my
Aunt
gosh.
Dodd has been killed.
What?
Breaking news. Okay, we'll stop messing with Lizzie for now. The giveaway, you have to be a member of the Force Book in order to enter, obviously. I believe on the event page you can press like the attend button and you're attending this event. That's what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to sign up to the Force Book, go to the events page, find the one that says May the 4th giveaway, and press attend. That's all you will need to do. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the things that will be given away. We're going to start off with a book. I mentioned this book earlier in the episode, Star Wars Honor Among Thieves. It's the newest book that's been, I think it's not the newest book, but it's one of the books that's been released this year. So I kind of picked this one because I hope not many people has read it. But if you are the winner and you have read this book, let me know and I'll find another book for you. Unless you actually want the book, then you can keep the book. You can get the book. Another thing I'll be giving away, we have 2 action figures. Darth Vader McQuarrie concept. I'll hold it up closer. Pretty cool. It's got his little head. It's kind of got McQuarrie signature. It's the signature line on the back. If you do not know, the artist passed away, I believe, last year or the year before that. So that's kind of a big deal. Then we have an R2-D2 from Revenge of the Sith when he is blasting the, whatever it says it on the back, the droids, those 2,
Do the battle droids.
yeah, the battle droids, when he blasts their body. So here is this action figure. And I'll be giving away the Free Comic Book Day was yesterday. I was able to score a spin-off of Star Wars, the Steam Wars. I will be giving this away as well. You can, flip through it and see all the amazing pages. There. Oh, it smells good too. I will put that in a cardboard and plastic, so that way it doesn't get smushed. I'm also working on another thing that's going to be added to the giveaway. I am going to go ahead and give you a hint. It's kind of expensive. I've been trying to talk the price down by a lot, but I promise there will be at least another item in this giveaway. Hopefully I can get that item, and so you all can see it. I'm not going to tell you the item just in case I don't get it and you all won't be like depressed. Might have to get like another item that's kind of cheaper, and I feel like I'm setting myself up for something. I don't know.
If we can't get the actual item, we'll get a Japanese knockoff somewhere. Don't worry, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll get the cheaper version. We might get like gives a Sideshow and one of those really big Darth Vader, the life-size Darth Vader they just came out with. We'll get you the latest, we'll get you like the 6-inch Darth Vader. Still pretty cool. No, I'm just messing with you guys. Get another item in there. So make sure you sign up to the site. And you've got to be subscribed to the YouTube channel as well. It'd help if you watched this video, but there's like no way to keep track on who actually watches this video. So if you don't, that's not a big deal. As long as you're subscribed to the channel, you're a member of the site, and you have pressed attend on the site. The shipping will be free. If you are 18 years or 17 years or younger, must have parents' permission to be part of this event, so we don't have like any issues with parents getting this gift and they're like, where did this thing come from? If you have any issues with the day of when it ends on May 25th, 1977. Don't smile. Okay, I smiled. At see, I gotta think of a time. Do a time. I don't know. No
Midnight.
time. Midnight. That's a good time. I'll be asleep, but so we'll do.
Whoa, hang on, wait. Midnight, what time zone?
US.
California time zone. What is that? Western, the other side of the United States.
Pacific?
Pacific.
Okay,
Pacific time.
okay, let me translate that for you. For you people, that's -8 GMT. That's 8 hours behind GMT.
Okay.
So, technically, it will be the 26th for other people.
Yep. I just want the whole world to kind of catch up. That's like the last zone to enter the next day.
No, it
So,
isn't.
I think.
No, it isn't. I think Hawaii is. I think the last zone. 8 hours. Haley, there's 12 hours forward and 12 hours back, not 8. 12 and 12 is 24.
24.
As in a 24-hour day.
24-hour day.
Never mind.
What are you talking about?
Time zones.
Time zones! Yes, that's what I'm talking about, time zones. The last time zone to enter the 26th.
Is Hawaii.
Can we set up a little countdown clock for everybody, just in general? Can we get a little stop
Yeah.
countdown? I think you can go to. I think you can get that for free and post a link for it. So we'll attempt to get
Yes.
you a tiny digital countdown. I think we can do that. So
I'll just like announce on the Force book every 1 hour until it ends. 55 minutes until it ends. 53. We'll do that. All right. It ends midnight Pacific time. May 26th, 5th, that day. Um, ends then. I'll announce like we got a few more hours. You got a few more hours to enter in case somebody forgets. It'll be spread over all over social networks. It'll be on Facebook, it'll be on Twitter, will be on YouTube, will be on the Force book, obviously. So don't forget, sign up to the Force book and enter for this event, and I will hopefully have the other item by the end of this week. Hopefully. So any questions? Any last remarks before I end this call thingy?
I think that's it. May the fourth be with you,
And Nemoidians.
and
Or may the fourth be with you.
Nemoidians alive or dead.
Preferably live.
Alright, everyone. May the 4th, or if you're already in a 5th, Revenge of the 5th, be with you. And make sure you join theforcebook.com. Thank you all for listening to the Force Book Podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode, possibly later this month or early next month. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you sign up to the Force Book once again and check out this awesome giveaway. If you have any questions about the giveaway, please send me a message or comment on something that I post in the event section. Just you can find a way to contact me. I'm on every social network. Find me. All right. So I guess that's gonna be it. Everyone have a awesome rest of your May the 4th. Have a really awesome week. And may the force be with you all.